OG Kills LD 100ZZ, right? How well does it stack up against the real thing? So as you guys have seen in like my other review of the LD 1000Z, I was very impressed by its performance, especially for the price, and how similar it was to the NanoFlare 1000Z. I do have some bad news. I think if, for example, the 1000Z, the LD, the OG Kills one, was like, 85% of what the real one was, I think this is more like 65 to 70%. So not as close performance-wise as the real thing, but still, of course, still going to be a great value, simply because of how competitively priced they are. So as you can see, we'll do a frame-by-frame comparison as we usually do. We're seeing a lot of the same things, or not same, rather identical, right? Similar, identical diameter in the shafts, right? Very similar grommet layout, the same thickness, even kind of like the same design language in the actual colors themselves, as you can kind of see on like the 1000 or the 100ZZ, excuse me, that like there's always like a certain corner, the diagonal corners that are kind of specially designed. And this is the BP obviously, but Kurenai or the Navy one are going to have the same design language, just different colors. One thing to note, sorry, is that this is actually textured. So this is actually like, if you rub your hands on it, this actually has like a ribbed feeling. So enough about the looks, which personally I don't like. This kind of looks like 3rd gen Astrox 88S and D, but worse. Let's talk about performance, because that's what is most important, at least for me. So performance-wise, the easiest way to describe how this feels compared to the real thing is kind of like comparing lemons and limes. So what I mean by that is like lemons and limes share a similar purpose, right? They offer acidity to whatever you're giving it to. They offer a similar experience, a similar feeling, but they are still, right, very different fruits or foods, right? And you can easily tell one from the other, but they're kind of related. They're kind of like cousins. This is kind of how I feel about the OG Kills 100ZZ, the LD, and the real thing. So what I mean by that is like, obviously this is not going to have a solid core. This isn't going to have NAMD. It's not going to have the rotational generation system that made the Astrox lineup so popular in the first place. But it is going to have a very comfortable hitting feel. It is going to be very easy to smash over and over again, which is actually the 100ZZ's, I think, punchline or slogan or motto, whatever you want to call it. If you guys remember from when the 100ZZ debuted, what did they market, or what term did they use to market this? It was relentless attack, right? So for me, that didn't mean the heaviest smash. It meant you were able to smash over and over and over again until you got the shuttle onto the ground. And yeah, in that case, this does kind of copy the 100ZZ in that way. It's very easy to smash with this over and over again. It's very comfortable. You don't get fatigued. It's not that physically demanding. So that's like the easiest way to describe it, and obviously I'll talk a little bit more about my personal experience in other areas. So outside of that, I think this racket is a little bit softer and has a little bit more shuttle hold compared to the real thing. And the reason why I say that is because I found it very easy to play my spinning net tumbles. As you guys know, my favorite shot in the entire game. I was able to consistently get these off. Outside of that, I think, yeah, very like similar experience with 100ZZ. My timing was not very different. If I expected the 100ZZ to perform this way in this situation, this performed very similarly. The really big difference is, of course, going to be the difference in hitting feel, just because you can't really replicate a solid core unless you also have another solid core, which this is not. At least I'm pretty sure, given the price. But yeah, in terms of drives, if you've played with the 100ZZ, this is going to play very similarly to that. It's going to be quick for a head-heavy racket. It's not going to be 1000Z or LD 1000Z quick, but for a head-heavy racket, right, very fast. Medyo repulsive, medyo maybe thick, right? Good touch. Not really much to say. I'll let kind of the game footage that has been playing on so far kind of speak for itself. So, that being said, would I buy this? I think, if you don't have the money again to buy the 100ZZ, which is like what, 11, 12K if you buy from an online retailer, 17K upwards in a mall, this is still going to be a steal at, whatever price OG Kills PH decides to. set this out. I'll just put text here because that's where I'll be asking you guys to buy from to, you know, support the channel and whatever. But yeah, for whatever price, I think maybe, I'm recording this before they've given me the official price list, but I'm assuming it's going to be anywhere between like 5K and 6K. I think for that price, it's obviously a steal because you could buy 2 of these, or again, a real 100ZZ from like an online seller, and 3 if you buy from the mall. And I'd rather have 2 or 3 rackets than 1, frankly. But yeah, if you guys have tried this out, let me know. If you haven't, you know, go definitely give it a try. I'll be hosting some kind of like OG Kills testing event sometime soon, maybe in Makati, maybe in Cubao, maybe in Pampanga. I don't know. Let me know where you guys are at, and I will try to have a testing event near you guys. But again, if some of this information is a little bit incorrect, it's just because I'm recording this before I've been given official price list information. So yeah. I'll make sure to correct anything in the comments below and that kind of thing. But yeah, 100ZZ.